Hi guys, it's IGTV Scripture Snapshot number 2. I'm getting in this habit of every Friday coming on and reading a chapter or two and talking about it and applying it to my life. So this is Matthew 17, 14. So this says, when they came to a crowd, a man approached Jesus and knelt before him. "Lord, have mercy on my son," he said. "He has seizures and is suffering greatly. He often falls into the fire or into the water. I brought him to your disciples, but they could not heal him." "You unbelieving and perverse generation," Jesus replied. "How long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy here to me." Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of the boy, and he was healed at that moment. Then the disciples came to Jesus in private and asked, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" He replied, "Because you have so little faith. Truly, I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say this to the mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." So this is a pretty famous verse, right? The image of the mustard seed. But I just wanted to look at it a little bit closer. So obviously you've got this story of this boy who is suffering from seizures, and the disciples are like, well, why couldn't we heal him? Why couldn't we drive out the demon from this boy? And he really talks about the fact that they did not have faith in the plan. I think there's a couple things here. One is, so often we think that it's on us, that we are the ones who have the power, we are the ones who have control, that it's on us to fix things, to change things, and it's a control thing, and it's a stress thing, and it's an ego thing. And it's really hard for us to trust that there is a plan and have faith that we will be healed and that change will come, and that the greater, bigger plan that we can't necessarily always see, the fullness of, is at work. I know we all struggle with that. I struggle with that. I go through my own feelings of anxiety at times when I can't see around the corner and I don't know that there's something better ahead. And maybe, I'm in a period of challenge or stress. Probably a lot of you are in a similar challenging period where you just don't know what's coming next, and you kind of want to be out of this chapter and be in a chapter where there's more peace and more time. So I just want you to know that I'm there with you, that I go through those same moments of, just feeling afraid and not knowing what's next. But this chapter is clearly saying that you need to trust and have faith, and that anything is possible through him, that there's nothing that he cannot take care of. There's nothing that has happened or ever will happen that he's not capable of dealing with. And so even though that's kind of a scary thing to let go of control, it's also a relieving thing to know that it's not on you, that there is nothing that he can't handle. There's nothing that's beyond him. There's nothing that he hasn't already thought of and thought through and made a plan to get you on the other side of. So, it's this dual thing. Like I said, it's sort of scary to let go of that control, but then it's also peace-giving to know that this is something that is beyond you to fix. It is superhuman, but it is not impossible. It is beyond our own capabilities, and it's beyond our own egos. And so it just comes down to trusting in that plan. And like I said, I know that I've gone through periods where I don't know what that plan is yet. And I'm sort of in a chapter like that right now. I don't know what the plan is yet. And when I feel that those nerves come out, I just have to trust that his plan is better than any plan that I could ever dream of. And I know that in my heart and soul. And that gives me peace I just have to remind myself in those moments where I want to, go into a frenzy of trying to plan it all out myself and control that plan and go with my plan. I have to just slow down and be present and trust that his plan is better. His plan is always better. Somebody gave a metaphor once. I don't remember. It was something like, sometimes God is like kicking you out of the car because he's saving you from a car crash that's about to happen. So something like that. I'm not quoting it well, but the idea is that like something that might temporarily hurt could be saving you from bigger hurt and getting you to exactly where you're supposed to be next. And so it's hard in that moment to take that kick without being able to see that your life is being spared. But it's an awesome thing. I actually just wanted to give a quick shout out to a podcast that I love, and from our old pastor. And actually, he also does his own blog, like daily blog of that's called Chewables. But if you haven't checked it out yet, you need to go check out the blog called chewables.com. And you also need to check out his podcast, which is called Spirit Farm Podcast. And it's so good. He has different guest speakers on there. And he also has his wife, Hillary, be a Hillary Hijack on both his Chewables blog and his podcast. So if you are looking for something that's kind of keeping spirituality, in your life on a daily basis instead of just Sundays or Bible study day or whatever you're doing, I have found that the podcasts are awesome for keeping me focused on, trusting in the plan, growing, keeping things in perspective, looking at things differently. I find them to be like really enriching for my life and just easy to digest, kind of like on car rides places. So I encourage you to check out Spirit Farm Podcast if you haven't. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, today is my 15-year anniversary. And if you're interested, I have my own blog site, which is theskinnyonselfcare.com. So it's www.theskinnyonselfcare.com. And I have a blog post about that today. Thanks. Bye.